and welcome to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wagner, a.k.a. Beck. And as always, you know we love hearing from you all. Your comments, your stories, your ideas, your field reports. Yes, hunting season is underway in many parts, especially those youth hunting seasons. Be sure to be sharing those updates with us. You can get a hold of us anytime. You can call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always drop an email along with those photos in the email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Again, that's bendradioshow@gmail.com. Riding along shotgun, as always, is my producer and co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. He was guzzling down water, but I don't think it's for the reason why I would be guzzling down water right now.
What do you think the reason I'm guzzling down water is?
Just to be healthy.
That's why I'm doing this. Because they say you're supposed to drink your body weight in ounces of water. Now, that's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
That's hard. I think it's hard to do. I mean, I know that you just got to drill yourself and you got to kind of force yourself to do that. But that's what you're supposed to do.
It's so hard. However, I would be drinking lots of water if I knew I was attending Oktoberfest, which is kicking off right now.
But it's not October.
That doesn't matter. In Germany, in Munich, Germany, it always starts this weekend here, September 21st for this year.
Check you on this.
Yes,
thing.
check it out. It ends in the first weekend of October. So Oktoberfest is kicking off.
You're right. It actually is going on as we speak.
In Munich, Germany.
In Munich, Germany.
That is where it was founded.
What is Oktoberfest? Is that just a big party? I mean, more or less, is just a big party. You've been there, right?
Yes, I have attended Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely recommend everyone giving it a try.
So is that what it is? Just a really big party? At the lack of a better word, it's just a big party.
Essentially, yes. It is a big party, and the biggest and oldest breweries in the world are found there. And it is a great time. Music. You get the steins of beer, and I'm talking those steins are huge.
So is their beer served warm, and it's in Munich, Bavaria, right? If
yes,
I'm not
the
mistaken.
state of Bavaria.
So do they serve their beer warm?
Yes, it's room temperature, which is the way I drink my beer anyway.
So is it good?
Yes, it's very good. Now, it's a lot more stout than our beer, okay? You got to be careful.
So is it heavy? Is it like a dark beer, or it's just more robust, maybe? Me trying to put a little panache in it. I'm trying to compare it to some of the beers that are around here, like your Bud Light or Coors or something like that, versus kind of your heavy microbrews, your lagers per se.
Okay, so it's going to have a higher alcohol volume. That's what it's going to have.
Okay,
now,
so that's what you mean by stout.
Yes,
gotcha.
That's what I mean by stout. However, yes, it can also mean by the color and such. Are there going to be darker beers like a Guinness that we're used to here in the United States? Yes. And then there's some paler ones, but even their lighter pale ales are nothing compared to our Bud Lights. They joke that our Bud Lights or our other American beers are not beer over there.
So do they have a lot of carbonation in them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they do still have a lot of carbonation like our beers do here in the States.
Oh, yeah. When they fill that stein, they're careful. Otherwise, they'll end up with all foam on the top, But I'm telling you, it is a good time to go. And I'm bringing up Oktoberfest because it's also a great time here for the States for us to be celebrating. And there are all kinds of celebrations actually launching and going on across the country. I know New York has some going on. And us here in America, we tend to start celebrating Oktoberfest as soon as Labor Day ends, and we go through the entire month of October.
Well, October is my favorite month, as you know. I know for a lot of other people it is too, because it's changing of the seasons. I like fall. I mean, I love summer, but I like the fact that it's cooling off and it's going into another season. I like October, so Hey, it's a reason to celebrate.
I will say
I'm all right with
that if you have ever thought about going over to Europe and for Oktoberfest, yes, it is something to do, absolutely, because the colors on the trees are changing. When you're in Munich, you don't realize that, as he mentioned, it's in Bavaria, the capital of that area, but you can do day trips to places like Neuschwanstein Castle, which is the castle that Walt Disney used to make Walt Disney World's castle.
You mean that big castle that we saw?
Yes.
When we was in Florida?
Correct. They modeled it after the Neuschwanstein Castle.
So you can go to said castle.
And tour the whole thing. It's a fantastic tour. You can go to Linderhof Palace, which is another King Ludwig II palace. And there's just a lot to see because you're right near the Austrian border. So there's so much history. I recommend going over there to Munich, whether you're going there for Oktoberfest or not. Yes, did I make sure I was going there for the same reason?
It just happened to coincide at the same time that you could drink all of this robust beer.
How do I put this? My mom was my travel partner, and I did not tell her about that portion.
So did your mom have a good time when she went with you?
She absolutely loves seeing Neuschwanstein Castle, Linderhof Palace, Salzburg in Austria. She was not a fan of her daughter saying, I'm going to Oktoberfest and leaving her behind. So she came along with, and after I had a couple of steins of beer, let's just put it this way, Mom made sure I made it back to the hotel.
So you are of German descent.
Yes.
So did you do any trying to look up any ancestry or I'm sure it went through your mind of, I wonder if I could possibly bump into a distant relative.
I did do some of that digging. I found out my relatives were more around Frankfurt. So Munich is in the southeast part of Germany and Frankfurt is more on the west side of Germany. So I didn't make it over there. However, I did notice that eating at the very local restaurants, a lot of the foods tasted similar to the type of foods my mom made or still makes. I couldn't believe that the flavors were that similar. And yes, I did have Wiener Schnitzel. It's very, very good. For those of you that don't know what it is, it actually is just veal that's very thin cut and crusted and breaded and fried.
Looks like a country fried steak,
It
honestly.
does.
Is that what it tastes like as a country
very
fried steak?
similar. Yes, the gravy's a little different, but it's very similar.
I feel like I have so little culture compared to what you have done. Because over the last 4 years, you've shared all of these incredible journeys that you've been on and places that you've seen.
Well,
I just go fishing.
That's okay. That you're the safe one in our house, okay? you're that steady, safe person in our house that keeps us grounded, Tigger. That's the thing. You're the one that makes sure the lights stay on.
I will celebrate Oktoberfest Tigger style right here. How about that?
And you know what? I feel like I'm about to get in trouble. So we're going to take a short break. Stay where you are. The Ben Show will be back right after this.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Arman with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom designed mount preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadron Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist.
You asked for it, you got it. Watch the Cowboy Channel anytime, anywhere with the Cowboy Channel Plus. Live stream the Cowboy Channel or watch your favorite PRCA rodeos on demand. Classic PRCA rodeos added weekly. Get the Cowboy Channel Plus for only $9.99 a month or save 25% by signing up for a full year. Visit CowboyChannelPlus.com to sign up and start streaming today.
Welcome back to The Bench Show, your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news. I am your host, Rebecca Wagner, a.k.a. Beck, and Ride Along Shotgun, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. All right,
could you hear me swallow? Drinking all that water, sorry.
Yes, thank you for sharing with the world your swallowing abilities.
In the microphone there, just a reminder, drink your water.
All right, this is perfect because this first story I have for y'all revolves around coworkers. And have you ever wanted to leave a coworker behind? Excuse me.
What are you getting at?
Looking at you. Yeah. Did you hear about this? That recently a worker on an office hiking retreat in Colorado was left stranded on a 14,230-foot mountain by his 14 colleagues.
So that was one of those team building exercises that a lot of us probably don't know exists, but they do. And he was that. Okay, go ahead. That's me. Did they do it intentionally or they just...
Okay, I don't know. Let me finish. Let me tell the story. Right. The man became disoriented after reaching the summit alone. Rescue teams eventually located and rescued the man who was in stable condition. According to the Chaffee County, Colorado Search and Rescue, they posted online in what might cause some awkward encounters at the office in the coming days and weeks. One member of their party was left to complete his final summit push alone. The man reported being very disoriented on his descent and falling at least 20 times on the steep slopes. This hiker was lucky to have regained cell service when he did and able to have enough consciousness to call 911. We'll put it that way.
And this was a team building exercise and they left said teammate behind.
Awkward moment at the office.
That's kind of funny, but kind of scary at the same time. So I'm glad he was rescued.
Do you feel like I could ever do that to you, Tigger?
Beck, you couldn't find your way out of the room if there wasn't a door that's an exit.
Are you kidding me? Everybody that knows me, knows that I have a sixth sense.
I'm not going to tell you what that is.
You're the one who hurts yourself without even moving.
That I'm not talking about.
Yeah, that's right. We're bickering again on air. All right. As you are cleaning out all of your stuff from this summer and you're throwing away passes and whatnot, listen to this. Disneyland recently honored a free ticket from 1985. Turns out a California man received a ticket for free admission to Disney. Yeah, back in 1985. The man had put the ticket in
40 years ago.
I know. The man put a ticket in the scrapbook and forgot about it. His daughter wanted to go to the park, found this ticket in a scrapbook, and the park manager accepted the old ticket. So she was able to enter for free.
So they called ahead, I'm assuming called ahead and said, here's the code on it. Is this still good?
I'm not sure if they went to that extent, but it's a good reminder that as you're cleaning out all of the stuff from this past summer and throwing things away, there might be some passes. We all tend to have that happen. We go, oh, shoot, I was going to make it to this zoo and I didn't. To maybe hold on to those and just double check. Don't count on it being able to be used, but doesn't hurt to ask next season when you go to see if it'll still work.
You know, that happened to us. Now that you bring that up, we got, from my nieces, we got some passes to go to a hockey game, kind of a little whole kit where this, that, and the other. And a couple years later, I found them in my wallet, and we called ahead to see if these passes were good. And they were. It was admission and all this other stuff. So I'm glad that we did.
It's absolutely worth double checking. Yeah. That's all I'm saying, okay?
Great. Now I'm thinking about hockey.
No, I am not, because I'm not ready for the snow. That's why I'm not thinking about hockey yet. For those of you that didn't know this already, there's a new study out that says TikTok is harmful for your health. Yeah, that doesn't come out as a big surprise in this book for me anyway. But they say TikTok can harm a person's mental health. This is according to Australia's Charles Sturt University. Researchers found harm occurs after just 8 minutes on TikTok. The study stressed the need for stricter controls on harmful TikTok content to protect users from psychological harm. Half the women surveyed reported a decrease in body image satisfaction after watching content on TikTok.
I can't really comment on that because we don't have TikTok, so I can only assume that this is correct, that there are all these different videos that come out. But I don't know. Maybe we need to get on there and just see what all the scuttlebutt is about.
I know you and I get hit a lot of times by our friends because we don't do TikTok. We do everything else. We do Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and such. But we've even how do I say this? Body image, I guess that topic right there. You and I have had this discussion before because of all the filters that you can use.
Oh, right,
we have
right,
friends where we'll say, quit adding a filter. Just be you. You don't need to change. But it's because of that pressure from the world saying I need to look a certain way.
But I think that there is certain ages that some of the social media platforms are more appealing to. You know, TikTok tends to be more of, I'm going to say, the 20 and under. In the 20 and under crowd, they say that, for example, Facebook is more towards an older generation. So I think it kind of has to do on the age bracket maybe that you're in.
Yeah, I can concede. It just depends. But regardless, it is good to limit and check ourselves on how much screen time we are doing.
Amen.
All right, that's all I'm going to say. Be present,
is.
Especially right now with all the beautiful colors changing in the scenery around us. Let's try and all be a little more present, okay? Well, here is some news for you that you have to do, or how do I put this? They're in charge of the grocery shopping in your house. Amazon Savor grocery brand. Yes, Amazon has launched a new budget grocery brand called Amazon Savor to compete with Target and Walmart, amid the high living costs. Most items in the Amazon Savor line will be priced under $5, and Prime members will receive an additional 10% discount. The move follows Target's deal-worthy brand introduced in February and Walmart's Better Goods brand launched in April. Amazon plans to expand Amazon Savor to over 100 items. So just a little heads up, because I think we're all trying to be a little bit more thrifty these days with our dollars. Tigger and I do a lot of shop local, but we are also very savvy and understanding on sometimes it just pays to not walk in the store and accidentally end up being, how do I say this? Those impulse buys,
you know.
Impulse buys get you every time. And if we can just follow our list when we go into a store and buy otherwise certain items online, it's amazing how much we save.
But you have to know if you are the type of person that follows said list. If you are, fantastic. Honestly, you and I are not. That we will go into the grocery store and we have 30% more than what was on that list.
I'm going to disagree. What I have found is when I have discovered, and I haven't mentioned it to you yet, Tigger. Gosh, we are covering all kinds of topics today. And that is when you and I enter the store together, we absolutely spend way more and buy what's not on the list. However, I know myself, when I go into the store alone and I have a list, it becomes a game for me and I only buy what's on that list.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever realized.
So this is a reason for me never to have to grocery shop ever again.
So you're saying you buy more without me is what you're getting at?
Well, I'm...
Way to ask for
maybe
approval.
That's what I'm saying. Apparently, we're working out all sorts of things in our relationship on this episode.
All right, it's time for another break. We got to work some things out here.
We need to have a little talk.
We're going to take a short break, crew. When we come back, there'll be more of The Ben Show. Stay where you are. This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again.
Before you head to the next rodeo, a concert, maybe a gathering on or off the ranch, we head to Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Tigger and Beck here for Medora Boot and Western Wear. Latest Western fashion in boots, jackets, and hats.
From durable ranch wear to keeping the horses in sturdy tack, visit medoraboot.com to order.
Or better yet, plan to visit Medora, North Dakota and shop Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Again, go to medoraboot.com. You can follow on Facebook and tell them Tigger and Beck sent you.
The hunt is planned, the guide is booked, the trip is blocked off in the calendar, but one huge detail remains, preserving that trophy, creating a memory that will last a lifetime. Little Rack Taxidermy has that fast, friendly service to fulfill your taxidermy in a timely, professional manner. Reach out to Heather with Little Rack Taxidermy through Facebook at Little Rack Taxidermy or send an email to heatherjoe23@hotmail.com. Little Rack Taxidermy, bringing back the natural look.
Shooting ducks, skinning bucks, I'm a hunting princess in a pickup truck.
Welcome back to your outlet for Western lifestyle and the outdoors, The Bend Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and right along shotgun, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. I got to thank a listener. I'm not going to say their name because they said not to, but they just sent this to me, and I'm shaking my head. It is an article from the New York Post saying how a New Hartford, New York man had a 13-foot Burmese python removed from his home. 13-foot Burmese python in his home. It was an 80-pound snake kept in a small tank, and it was reported to authorities. And I'm shaking my head. Yeah, they came in. They relocated it to a zoo. You know what I would have done with it. Its owner was ticketed for possession without a permit. And if you don't know this already, the snake is an invasive species, right? They're known to grow up to 16 feet long. That's
where I was wondering why he was ticketed, but okay, he needed a permit to have said snake.
Yes. And for this listener, just so you know, I do appreciate you being a listener, but you can keep the snake stories to yourself, okay?
Don't send them.
All right, on to other things. If you've not heard about this, those of you that love using WD-40, and you might find it not in the aisle like it usually is. Why is that? Because people are buying large amounts of WD-40 for Halloween. Get this. Do you have any idea, Tigger, why they would be buying WD-40 for Halloween?
No.
What is out right now to start decorating for Halloween?
Pumpkins.
That is exactly why. It turns out they're spraying it on pumpkins to make them last longer. And I thought, this can't truly be something. I barely did any digging into this. And come to find out, WD-40 themselves, they even have a pro tip page all about using WD-40 on pumpkins to make them last longer, stay fresh, especially after carving.
Really?
Who would have ever thought?
I didn't know that you could do that with WD-40.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You just take WD-40 and you spray it all over said pumpkin?
Yeah, we're talking about the typical WD-40 multi-use product that we use to stop every creak and whatever's happening with the doors. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They say that it also gives extra shine, but the coating will help the pumpkin last longer and delays the onset of decay, especially on a carved pumpkin. So there you have it. They do say, though, if you use it on a carved pumpkin, make sure you do not light a candle right away. You got to give it, 24 hours for it to dry. So you might have to use one of those LED lights or glow stick in the meantime.
I have ideas.
Do you now?
Yeah, I have ideas.
Yeah, they look nefarious. I'm looking you in the eye, and I have a feeling I'm not going to like your ideas.
I'm calling the boys over, and we're going to experiment.
But I do know we are going to give this a try because Tigger and I every year host a big Halloween party, and it's kind of the kickoff for the holidays in our family. And just to share with you, if you're wondering, hey, if you're like us, where maybe you're either empty nesters or maybe you don't have kids of your own, but you want to be able to host a holiday, Tigger and I realized a few years back that there's chaos and we can't blame our brothers and sisters and them trying to get to all the in-laws and outlaws and XYZ.
You're talking about during the holidays.
During the actual Thanksgiving through Christmas holidays that we jumped up and grabbed Halloween for ourselves. And we kind of end up being the ones that kick off the holiday season.
But it's for the kids to be able to, well, I shouldn't say that for the kids because all of the adults have just as much fun. We have a pumpkin carving contest. And
absolutely.
Just kind of a fun
Our place, we turn it into its own pumpkin patch. We go and whether we can grow them, if not, we go buy them. This year, our pumpkin harvest failed. We didn't even get one pumpkin, so we are buying pumpkins to fill the yard. But we actually turn it into a pumpkin carving party. And it's not just the kids. The adults have to participate too. And we set it up where typically there's about 25 pumpkins getting carved all at once in our shop. We lay out big tarps, so cleanup is really easy. The kids have a blast.
And we have prizes for the kids, and then we have prizes for the adults for the best carved pumpkin as well.
And I'm telling you, a Halloween party, especially if you're somebody that doesn't want a lot of stress, it's super easy to throw this together. Because like I mentioned, we toss some tarps, especially old ones out that we want to throw away anyway, down to carve the pumpkins on. We make a big old thing of chili. How easy is it to make chili, especially ahead of time?
So now we go and we take those pumpkins and we spray them with WD-40.
Yes, we're absolutely going to spray our pumpkins ahead of time with WD-40, and I'm going to let you all know if it actually works out to keep those pumpkins from freezing and lasting a lot longer. And that's all for this week, folks. We're going to call this show wrapped. Remember to keep sending us your questions. If you know of something spot-worthy for us to share, how about those field reports or success stories you might have this fall? Let us know about them. Again, you can call or text anytime, 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always email bendradioshow@gmail.com. And if you missed part of this episode or want to hear past shows, you can find them all on the website, thebendshow.com. And be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and to the Ben Show YouTube channel. And booking into 2025 is Tigger and Beck. Yes, we can entertain your crowd. Give us a holler and let us know how we can make your event extra special. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners out there that came along. And whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Ben on Facebook and on Instagram @The Ben Show. This is Rebecca Warner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Ben.